Warner Brothers has all but confirmed the casting for Severus Snape in HBO's upcoming Harry Potter series. It is, in fact, going to be the rumored Papa Esiadu. He is black. This is a race swap of a beloved character. And I think that this is the fate moment where a lot of people realize J.K. Rowling is, in fact, woke and has been all along. And she is theoretically entirely on board with this because we've already been told that she is deeply, deeply involved with the making of this series and all of the creative decisions, including casting. The only other announcement in regard to casting so far has been John Lithgow playing Dumbledore, but the rest are upcoming. HBO said, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumor and speculation. As we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals." So, to be clear, Papa Esiadu's deal is not yet finalized, but Deadline reports that they are in the process of closing his deal. And that was, I think, a rumor that Deadline reported just about a month ago. But they felt really strongly about staying true to the canonical age of Severus Snape.
So age matters, but looks and character descriptions don't.
Not how he's described in the book as having sallow skin, meaning pale and sickly looking, of an unhealthy complexion. So you can pretty clearly see he's described as having light skin.
I do want you to,
in the book.
Remember that there is a scene in one of the books in a flashback where, you know, James and the friends hang Snape upside down and like in the air so that his robes come down and humiliate him. That's gonna have a whole different context.
Yeah, they haven't thought that far ahead. The showrunner, Francesca Gardner, revealed that the series will stick to the canonical age of Snape, who will be 31. And
just get Adam Driver.
They say that explains the choice of 30-something Esiadu for the role of Snape.
Like,
that explains it.
Adam Driver, like, you've already, like, my original joke was like they wouldn't cast Adam Driver because he's American, but they're casting John Lithgow. So cast Adam Driver. What's he doing these days?
Stop saying things that make sense.
What's he doing these days?
They gave you an explanation. How is that not good
His
enough?
hair is probably that long right now. You know what I mean? He has that awful haircut.
He really was a shoo-in, but maybe he feels that he's more suited for movies instead.
He doesn't want to. I mean, that would be a large time commitment.
Yeah.
John Lithgow's just like crawling to the finish line of life.
But they're really setting this guy up, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like they just want to rake him over the coals.
The only way this could have been funnier is if they got Ncuti Gatwa from Doctor Who.
I mean, insane.
Yes.
They might actually be that stupid though, and that's what everyone is so shocked by in this decision. Is like, how could they possibly think this was the vibe? You know, like no one else is thinking this way anymore. Here were a couple of tweets. Just like that, my interest in the show is gone. If you're going to make a Harry Potter TV series, which wasn't necessary in the first place, the only way you convince me to watch is by adding elements that the movies couldn't fit. But if you're drastically changing characters, I can't trust anything about this show anymore. Hard pass.
Yes, the thing is, guys, is the whole point of doing the shows is that it allows you to get into all of the nitty-gritty of the books that just there wasn't time for in the movie adaptations. So theoretically, you have like the perfect recipe for success. Long-form television.
Yeah. You have HBO's Stranger Things on your hands.
Yeah, and
if you did it right.
First of all, I mean, I don't believe that any streaming show can actually get this many seasons done that quickly, considering it like all of the cast of Stranger Things were like 10 and now they're all about to hit retirement age.
If they did it on a real production schedule instead of what Stranger Things did.
Yep.
HBO told fans this would be a faithful adaptation of the books. Race swapping one of the most complex and important characters in Snape is not faithful to the books. It's bullshit.
It's really not faithful to the books.
Like, is J.K. Rowling going to answer for this? I feel like
Look, I don't honestly believe she's even all that involved.
Well, she's claiming to be. She's claiming to be deeply involved in the entire creative process.
When did she say that last?
That was actually an official statement from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, like he's saying, these people can say anything.
And she's gloating about it.
She's like, yeah, deeply involved.
She's gloating about the fact that she's involved. And she's happy that it makes some people mad because a lot of people don't like her. But if you've already repelled the woke people, why are you still being woke?
They're not going to jump back on board for this.
You have already lost the goodwill of woke people. So why are you doing woke shit? Who is it for?
So all of the normal people will be like, who don't know anything about her Twitter handle, will just be like, why does everything look so different now?
They're also talking about, who is this actress? Janet McTeer to play Headmistress McGonagall.
She was in Jessica Jones. I don't even remember which character she was in Jessica Jones. It's been so long since I've seen it. Might have been in season 2, which I don't remember as well as I remember season 1.
With the HBO series, the Harry Potter franchise continues to build a more inclusive and racially diverse universe, an effort that started with the casting of Noma Dumezweni as Hermione in the long-running stage play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Again, people don't hold stage plays to the same standard that they hold movies and television. You expect that in stage plays. You do not expect it in movies and television.
Yeah, so I guess that this is their calculated decision. This isn't random.
Bold move. They just want to throw money into a giant cauldron and light it on fire. That's bold.
Do you think this guy is even going to be annoying about it in interviews?
I mean, my hope is no. My hope is that he's... actually, no, never mind. For the sake of my job, I hope he is.
He probably will be.
But, you know...
They're going to ask him about it.
Ncuti Gatwa was annoying. I mean, maybe that's one of the other reasons that, beyond just the social implications... If I was the studio, I'd be like, how do we keep the subject matter in the interviews on the actual show? Well, the best way to do that is to not do casting that allows for juicier topics for the media, because the media doesn't care about the show.
Yeah.
The media cares about the clicks the show can get them.
Right.
And the best way to get clicks for the show has nothing to do with the actual show itself and everything to do with the stuff that they know people will click on. And that's stuff like this. They did the same thing with Doctor Who. And the problem with
We're not going to ignore my chocolateness.
And they did the same thing at Amazon with Rings of Power. And guess what? People lost interest after season 1.
Yeah.
People stopped caring. Nobody cared. Like, we dunked, we laughed, we moved on. We reviewed season 1, and that was more than they deserved.
Warner Brothers could really take some notes from the failures of Amazon.
They could.
But
they should go into meetings together to help each other.
Like, I don't know. I just keep hearing about this vibe shift. Mm-hmm. You know, they ask you.
Well, no,
they ask you, can you feel it?
It's the same stuff that I tell you.
Shifted.
It's the same stuff that I tell you all the time, which is that when it comes to properties that they don't believe have deep social cachet, when it's dad TV or books like Jack Reacher or Jack Ryan. Like Reacher or Jack Ryan, they're like, just whatever, make it, fine, sure, whatever. We spent the money for it, okay, fine. But when it's something that has deep cultural significance to the youths, they get deeply involved and start to meddle. And that's probably why, if I was to guess, feminists or politically motivated female executive producers and casting directors are heavily involved in those shows and want to see them changed, as opposed to Jack Reacher, where they don't feel like it deserves the same amount of attention, so they just go about giving it whatever casting that they give it.
Right. So they've already had 2 casting blunders, first with casting an American.
I get people aren't gonna like people again. That's only a blunder if you consider J.K. Rowling's previous words relevant. Now, if he can do it'd be funny if he just does an American accent the whole time.
It's only a blunder when it kind of starts adding up and piling up, and it starts to look like dominoes falling one after the other after the other.
Even if we're not talking like this is obviously less important to them. The nationality of the actor is less important than the physical appearance of the actor. But even if we're going off just that, John Lithgow has a history of strong performances that tend to preclude the criticism. Meaning that he already, first of all, if you're there to critique the accent, he's already given performances that prove he can do the accent. And he's got like a gazillion years. He's like 800 years old. He's got a zillion years of television and movies with notable roles that people can call back on and say, okay, I get why you cast him. But if you're casting somebody that nobody's ever heard of, then that doesn't make any sense. The reason why the idea of Idris Elba as James Bond persists in the way that it does is because he's the most notable black British actor.
Well, maybe what they're doing here is a strategy of distracting people. So there are so many different cultural flashpoints and so many different debates and backlashes that you can't focus on just one of them.
It's Operation Chaos from Harry Potter. Yeah,
because J.K. Rowling already has this bullseye on her back. Yeah. So why not just go ham? And
it's going to be crazy when
make the whole thing incredibly controversial.
They're going to make Harry's dad bully Snape. Somebody mentioned in the chat, and it's going to have weird racial
Harry's
undertones.
dad is going to be racist.
Yeah.
Wow. Can't wait.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like exactly the escapist entertainment that you were looking for?
And again, I feel bad for whatever children they choose to play the main characters. They haven't chosen them yet, but they have tens of thousands of auditions to go through. And whoever those kids end up being, they're going to need some serious media training. Something between media training and like CIA PSYOP.
Like some type of like mental process they put them through to toughen them up.
Yeah.
Like they go into like a passive mode where it all just bounces off them and nothing happens.
Yeah, it's got to be something serious to get them through that press tour, because my goodness, it's already heating up. Like
they should have cast Andrew Garfield as Harry's dad.
They could.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.